Hi, good afternoon. This is Jennifer Cunnings with My Heart Reiki, and we are doing our monthly energy clearing call. So this is June 16th, 2016, 6/16/16. That's always a fun number. I always love to see what the energy is around these numbers, and I haven't really gotten much on this one, but there's always something significant when we have repeat numbers, especially in dates and things. So just a side note for later. So every month I like to get together on the phone and just kind of feel into the energy, see what's coming up for people. Are there specific shifts that need to happen? Are there energies that we need to align with? Is there a collective release of old emotional garbage or baggage or whatever it is that we're carrying with us? And so there's power and support that we are able to tap into when we come together as a group. So I'm just facilitate, kind of see what comes through. And this morning I woke up with just a bunch of things that I feel like we can walk through together, various exercises and energy clearings that will just kind of help to get us a little more clear, a little more grounded, a little more focused. And the big one that showed up when I booked this call, I actually had to go in and change the title, was to really reconnect to our divine self, our soul self, the higher aspect of who we are. When we go through life, the day-to-day stuff, we get busy, we go to work, we, have kids or family, classes, we have all these things that happen, and we often just kind of get, in the routine of the day-to-day. And we get really mired in our ego thinking, our left brain thinking, and then just all the stuff that this physical reality demands of us. And it's easy to get distracted from who we really are at a grander, larger scale. I see our soul, or I perceive our soul being as infinite, eternal, and limitless. And often in this physical body, we create different boxes of limitations for ourselves. We're physical, so there's a limitation to our body, where certain thoughts become limiting based on our previous experiences in childhood and various stories and things that we've bought into. So with all that, I wanted to utilize our time together today and reconnect to our divinity, reconnect to our soul, and bring forward that aspect of ourselves that in a more magnified way, in a way that's going to kind of put our divine self in the driver's seat, and then we can ask our ego self to take a seat in the back of the bus. So that's a little bit of what we'll do to begin with. Then we're going to move into the energy clearing portion of the call, where we'll see if there's anything specific that you might want to release, any particular pattern, anything in your life that's been kind of coming up that hasn't really felt light and happy. So if there's an emotion, there's an experience, if there's a frustration, whatever that is for you, you could take a moment to think about it now and write it down, or just hold it in the back of your thoughts, because we're going to bring that to the surface, and we're going to do some energy release on that. And then hopefully we'll have time with all of that. I think we will. We're going to also infuse our energy with what we want to create. So if that block or whatever it is that you've been experiencing is kind of keeping you from moving forward with something, what is that you want to move forward with? And so I always ask the questions, if you're like, I don't know what I want. Well, how do you want to feel? How do you want to experience your life? When you wake up in the morning, is the thoughts in your head, are they light? Do they feel good? Are you loving yourself? Are you loving your life? So anything that's not that, and anything that you want to create towards that, you could write that down for yourself now as well. So that's going to be the outline for the call today. For those of you who are listening and are not familiar with me, again, my name is Jennifer Cunnings, and I work in Richardson, Texas, doing client sessions one-on-one, and I also hold classes and workshops and various events like that to just help people become empowered. I love to work in healing and coaching, but I even more so love to empower people with information and energetically helping them remember the infinite being that they are and remember how powerful they are in their being. And so that way, when they're navigating through life, they've got tools and information, they've got understandings that really are inherently within. So it's like we're all just kind of unlocking and remembering this amazing, powerful creators that we are. So that's a little bit about what I do. So as I walk you through some of the exercises, I encourage you to find a quiet place to get really still, and we'll start with some breathing exercises to help get us into that state. If you can close your eyes and eliminate any distractions, that's going to help really help you get in touch with some of these energies that we're going to be tapping into today. So imagine with your eyes closed and your body relaxed, feet uncrossed, arms uncrossed. Really bring yourself, your awareness, your breathing, bring it all into your body. Breathe into your lower abdomen. Breathe into your feet. And as your awareness comes in to your body, just notice how all your muscles begin to just let go a little bit more. Like, oh, I'm quiet, I'm still. It feels so good. I haven't done this in so long. It feels so good to relax, so good to let go. And it's like we give full permission for our body to just completely release. We're physically releasing. We're releasing thoughts. We're releasing the to-do list that we need to get back to later. We're releasing the outside world, releasing all of our distractions, releasing our mental mind. So breathe deeply and go ahead and take about 3 to 4 really deep cleansing breaths. Really get in touch with your body. I like to breathe in for about 7 seconds and then hold my breath and then breathe out for 7 seconds. So we'll just do that all together now. Breathing in, holding, releasing. Breathing in, peace, love, and happiness, and white light. And releasing all that you're ready to let go of, all that no longer serves you. And now bring your awareness to your heart space. This is my favorite place to start. This is something I do every single day, and I really encourage my clients and students to do this as well. So imagine in your heart space there's a beautiful white light, a beautiful sphere of light, and it's glowing bright. See that light, feel that light. Know that that light is always there within you. This light represents the true aspect of you, the true essence of your being. This light reflects your soul, your higher self, the aspect of you that is closest to God. So imagine that light is like a lighthouse and it begins to turn up. begins to get brighter and bigger. It begins to shine throughout all of your body and all of your being. Feel that light saturating every single cell in your body. Feel the energy of that. Letting your ego self go. Allowing this light to step forth in the most beautiful way possible. Feel literally your higher self step forward here. Feel the magnificence of your divine being. Feel the infinite, eternal part of you. And we're going to allow this light to get even brighter and even bigger as it expands throughout all of your auric field, shining the brightest light you've ever seen. Because that's you. You're the bright light. That's what you really look like underneath. Behind the thoughts, behind the identity that we grasp onto, behind the emotions, behind the thoughts. This is the real you. Let that light step forward and expand the light from your heart even further. Expand it as far as this whole country. Shine that light so bright that it completely illuminates 360 degrees in all directions. And shine your light throughout all of the universe, past the planet Earth, past the moon, the stars, sun. Allow your light, allow your energy to feel this expansiveness, to feel the limitless of who you really are. With every breath, maybe take it even just a little bit further. So you can see there's no limit to how expansive you are. No limit to you as a being. No limit to what you can create. In this space of expansiveness, you are reminded that you are the most powerful creator. You are reminded that your energy has the ability to manifest all the love and the abundance and the support of the universe. And so remember to keep your energy expanded throughout the rest of this experience. Staying in that place where we can perceive ourselves from that higher perspective. You might be able to understand certain aspects of ourselves that we wouldn't had we not been in this expanded space. Now I want you to, as you keep your energy expanded, bring your awareness just kind of back to where you're at, to your body, to your heart. One of the things that I've seen with many of us is we've all experienced some kind of trauma or, different emotions that don't serve us. Or maybe we've just had experiences that we just didn't care for. We don't want to remember. We don't want to feel that. There was some suffering involved. There was some pain involved. There was some grief involved. And so we've kind of stuffed those away. Okay, we've maybe disconnected from some of those places that we no longer want to think about. But part of us being these infinite soul beings is that everything is part of us. Everything is part of our whole. And so we can hold on to things that no longer really work for us anymore. But we but we have it so stuffed away, or we're so disconnected from it that it just kind of stays stuck with us. So first thing we're going to do is begin to bring in all aspects of ourselves that we've ever disconnected from. So I want you to imagine that you're holding a bunch of balloons. Now you might have seen these, like I can't think of the last time I saw, but the people used to walk around in the park and they would sell the balloons. They had this huge bunch of balloons above their heads. So many balloons, it's almost like they could fly away. So see that bunch of balloons in your hand, and imagine that each one of these balloons is a part of you that you've disconnected from. Maybe somebody has taken away your power. Maybe you have an experience that you just would rather forget. And so you just kind of took it outside of your body. Like, oh, I don't want to hang out with this anymore. I'm just going to put it up in that balloon, and it can hover above me, but it's not welcome here anymore. Maybe you have some specific experiences that you want to put into those balloons, or that you know are in there already. So take a few breaths, and if anything comes to mind to where you've disconnected or separated from your being, and just kind of see those floating in the balloon. And now, imagine that there is one huge balloon that encompasses all of those balloons. Okay, it's this bubble of light, this bubble of pure, unconditional love, this bubble of bliss, of peace, of joy, of happiness. Every good feeling you've ever had in your entire life is now filled in this huge bubble of light that is encompassing all these balloons. And as this beautiful light fills up, it begins to transform any of the energy in the balloons that we're just not interested in. So this beautiful white light begins to cleanse and purify and transform all of these parts of you that you've disconnected from, that you judge or perceive to be not okay. We're going to fill all that bubble of light with unconditional love. And it's going to fill each and every one of those balloons with this light, transforming all of the energy here into love. So love is the true aspect of our being. We're really just connecting to the true parts of us. So as all those balloons are now filled with white light, we're going to bring them into our body. So imagine that each one of those balloons, including that bubble of light, flows into your being. Allow yourself to receive it, bring it in, bring it into your body, all the way down to your feet. Anywhere you've ever given your power away, we're calling all of that back to you now. We're calling all aspects of your soul, of your being, into your body. So feel that coming in. Feel yourself receiving it. And just say to yourself, I am whole. I embrace all aspects of my being. I am perfect in every way. I am love. Everything about me is love. Let that all begin to settle into your body, fully integrating into your being. Feel that filling up your feet, almost as if you were an empty vessel, and now you are being filled up with this light, all of this beautiful unconditional love. Just so we can anchor this energy in, bring your attention back to your feet and throw some of those tree roots out the bottom of your feet into the ground. We're wanting to anchor this energy into the earth. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Bring your awareness and your energy into the earth. Let your awareness and your energy and your tree roots travel to the center of the earth and anchor into that center, allowing you to fully integrate all of this energy into your physical being. While our spirits and our divine self are expansive and whole and infinite, we still operate in our physical bodies, but we can marry these two together. Our divine higher self does not have to be a separate entity from our physical self. So we're wanting to merge those into our physical. And we're wanting to allow our higher self to take a step forward. So imagine that now your higher self is in a bus and it's taking the driver's seat. And we're asking our ego self to just go ahead and sit in the back. We're integrating all these parts together. We've called all of our energy back home. And we're going to allow our higher self, the self that is vibrating with love at all times, to take the driver's seat. And breathe in, taking some breaths, allowing all this to integrate, all this to be received. All right, good job. So, that's how we reconnect to our higher self. That's how we remember that we are infinite beings. That's how we know that we are more than just this body. We are more than just this person running around, going to work, running errands, going out to lunch. We are infinitely more than we perceive ourselves to be. And in that place of expansiveness and in that perception of awareness, we can begin to operate more from a place of love and less from a place of fear. So I recommend to expand your heart light out every day. Anchor yourself into your body, into the earth every day. Allow yourself to be infused in unconditional love every day. So breathe all of that in. And anything that does not resonate with that, we can just begin to release it. Anything that's not unconditional love, we can just start to let that go. And so we're going to move on to our next exercise. So just take a breath, maybe take a sip of water if you need to. And now we're moving on to clearing a part of ourselves that we are judging to be bad. So, like we talked about in the beginning of the call, is there a particular experience that you are having, an emotion that you've been feeling that maybe just hasn't been very comfortable? Are you judging yourself in any way? Are you judging others? Any time we judge others, we're actually judging ourselves. And every single time we judge something, we actually separate from love. There is no judgment in love. And so as we're striving to align and reconnect with the soul aspect of ourselves in a more powerful way, it's important that we be aware of our thoughts and aware of the judgment that we might be having about ourselves or others. This keeps us small. This keeps us in fear. This keeps us away from being love and expressing and emanating the vibration of love. So whatever that is for you today, I want you to find in your body where you're holding on to this emotion or this experience in your body. Where is this stuck? So I'm going to choose for myself judgment. I have a relationship with someone in my life that whenever I get on the phone and they start complaining or doing something that kind of rubs me the wrong way, I immediately catch myself saying, "Oh, I wish they would do better for themselves." And then I get a little bit frustrated. Okay, so the judgment leads to the frustration. So I'm going to look for that emotion in my body. I'm going to ask that my body show me where that is residing. I'm going to ask to possibly see it. For some of you, that might be a little more visual. You might see it. Some of you might be a little more clairsentient. You might feel it. So however that shows up for you. When I think about that judgment that I'm experiencing, I feel it in my lower belly. I think I feel a little bit in my head as well. And so it might be just a little bit of a pressure or a constriction or a tingling, perhaps even a pain. Your body wants to let you know where this is hiding because your body wants to be filled with the love too. It doesn't need to hang on to this stuff. So wherever that is in your body, just go ahead and connect with it now. And if you can't find it in your body, that's okay too. However you need to connect with this emotion, we're going to give you another way if your body's not talking to you. Sometimes it's just hard for us to hear. But if you're experiencing the emotion, if you're experiencing the experience and it's uncomfortable to you, just know that that energy does reside in your physical body somewhere. It is stuck somewhere. It's creating an energetic block, okay? It's creating a block between you and love. So for those of you that have found it in your body, go ahead and just connect to that place in your body and begin to breathe in. And for those of you who might not have found it in your body, I want you to imagine that you've taken this emotion or this experience, and at one point in your life, you put it in a box, you wrap the box all up, and you put it to the very, very top of the closet and then shoved it all the way to the back, okay? Imagine that you are now standing at that closet door, and you're opening that closet door, and you're reaching. Maybe you have to get a ladder, and you got to go to the very back of the closet where you have put this energy in a box, okay? And we're going to take it down. We're going to take it out of the closet. We're going to set it down on the floor. We're going to unwrap any taping, and we're going to open that box up, okay? So whatever is inside, maybe you see it. Maybe it looks a little dark and gray. Maybe it looks a little tangled. Maybe when you open it up, you feel kind of a ugh in your belly, like, ugh, this just feels bleh. Okay, so whatever that is for you, I'm going to take down that judgment from the closet. I'm also going to take my attention and bring it to my belly. I'm actually now feeling it in my solar plexus, my own personal experience here. All right, so we've identified it. We found it. We know where it's at. We know what it is. And often our first inclination is to judge it, right? Often our first inclination is to judge the judgment or judge the emotion, saying, this is bad. I don't want to feel this. This is pain. This is suffering. This is, I'm not supposed to feel angry. I'm not supposed to feel resentful. I'm not supposed to feel bad about myself, okay? But these are all judgments. And so the most important thing for us to do here is to release all judgments of even the stuff we might perceive to be not okay. All right? Because everything that happens for us, everything that happens in our lives happens for us. Okay? Everything shows us something about ourselves. There's an opportunity to experience, to expand. There's an opportunity to get closer to love in every single moment, in every single experience. And so our ability to just be aware of what's showing up for us and release the judgment about it gets us closer to love every single day. So if you find that in your body or you're looking at it after taking it out of the closet, I want you now to bring your attention back to your heart space. Okay? And now imagine this heart space, this beautiful light in your heart, which is still expanded throughout all the universe. But it's infinite, so it's still concentrated there in your heart. We're going to turn this into a flashlight. Okay? And if you're finding that emotion or that stuck energy in your body, take that flashlight and direct it down or up to wherever that is in your body. So it's like we've got this like super bright spotlight, like a Coast Guard spotlight, and we're now shining it into that place in our body, and we're now shining it into that box, And we're just looking. We're just observing, and we're like, oh, interesting. We're not judging. We're just saying, oh, look at that. Look at that which I once perceived to be bad or not okay. We're just kind of saying, that's interesting. Because emotions, how we feel about our emotions is really just our perception based on our feeling, right? So I can look at the emotion of anger, and I've been told that it's not okay to feel anger because then I perceive it to be bad. And then I go to the emotion of feeling totally joyful, and I perceive that to be good. But both of those experiences, feeling angry or feeling joyful, they're just indications of what's going on within me. The one is not worse than the other. They're just information. So we're shining that light on that emotion. We're shining that light in the box. And we're just kind of paying attention to what's going on in our dialogue about it, about how we feel about it. Okay, so maybe there is some judgment that comes up about it, and that's okay. What we're going to do instead is as we shine our light on this emotion or this feeling or experience, we're going to just start to send it love. Imagine that this experience or this emotion is a little child. This little child is you. So see that little girl or little boy. Imagine that they represent this emotion. And you wouldn't judge the child. You wouldn't shame the child for feeling this. You would embrace. You would nurture. You would have compassion for. So I want you now to completely send all the love in your being, all the love from your soul, from the universe, to this experience, to this emotion. We're going to just shine this light of love. We're just going to say, I love you. I love you. You are perfect just the way you are. It is okay to feel this feeling. It is wonderful. Thank you for being part of my experience. Thank you for showing me what I need to know. Thank you for every way in which you have showed up in my life. Because at a time, you had a purpose. You supported me in some way. And I am infinitely grateful for that. And I love you so much. So to just take a few breaths and send love to that emotion or to that experience. And notice how when you embrace this and you love it, it doesn't hold as much weight. It doesn't hold as much power. Maybe even it's gone. All right, so however that shows up for you, just notice how it feels. If you're still feeling a charge from it, over the next day or so, I want you to just send more love and more compassion. I want you to embrace this part of you as your whole, okay? And any emotions that you have that show up, that feel uncomfortable, any thoughts about yourself, any of that judgment, I want you to begin to just open your heart, expand it out like we did in the beginning, and just send all that love and gratitude to that emotion, okay? I don't know about you all, but I really felt like that was a sign. So I think I cleared something in myself. So how we perceive and feel energy is like totally different from each other. I get big like surges of energy that go through my body. Other people feel tingling or warm. And so however that showed up for you and whether you felt anything or not, just know that a shift did occur, okay? So that's how we release some of the things that we aren't really resonating with us anymore, right? I don't want to feel angry anymore, but I'm not going to judge anger. I'm going to love it, and I'm going to embrace it, okay? So let's just let that move on. Let any residual energy from that emotion just kind of dissipate. And now re-expand out your light from your heart throughout all of your being again. Bring it out. Instead of you can keep it expanded out through the universe, but we're going to grow another sphere of light. And this time it's going to just encompass your auric field, your energy field, which depending on who you are, sometimes your auric field can be a foot, 3 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet outside around your body. Everybody's a little bit different. So however you perceive your auric field to be, grow your light from your heart throughout that bubble. Okay? And we're going to fill this bubble up with light and love again. But what I want you to do is pick a color, any color that comes to mind first. Okay, mine's pink today. And I want you to get a paintbrush in your hand, and I want to get a bucket of that paint color, and I want you to paint the outside of your auric field. And I want you to completely cover every inch of this. On top of you, below you, okay? And what this color will help represent for you is encapsulating all of this divine love that you've now generated. It's going to kind of keep this in your bubble, okay? But this color and this bubble around you is actually just a filter. So it's penetrable, but only with higher vibration energy, okay? So anything that meets your vibration or higher, any beneficial thoughts, energy, any time anybody sends you some love, it can come right in and you can receive that love. And you can release anything that you're ready to let go of. But all that love that you've just generated is now encapsulated in that bubble. And it's this bubble of protection. So if you go out into the world and you go into a grocery store and the person checking out in front of you gets in an argument with the other checker and there's all this kind of negative energy around you, you don't have to absorb it. It cannot get through your filter. You go into a movie theater and, maybe there's some drama or something, or maybe somebody just had a really bad day and they're carrying around their bad day like a dark cloud above their heads. You don't have to receive it because you are now totally 100% protected from any lower energies that do not support you. So, all right. So, and what I like to do is just snap my fingers so that anytime I need to recreate that bubble, it's in my left-hand snap. So it's like, oh, I feel like I'm going somewhere, and I'm like, that energy feels a little, wonky to me. I'm going to put my filter up so that I can stay in my bubble of love and peace. All right. So that's what we got for today. You can use these exercises for yourself. Again, this is something I do every single day because I find that the more that shows up for me, the more I can work through. And then the closer I get to love, and the closer I'm able to amplify and be in a state of love, the happier I am, the more I can help others, the more life flows more easily for me because I'm just in that state of allowing, right? I can be in that state of just, wow, everything shows up for me perfectly, and I'm so filled with love that I'm overflowing, and I can share that with the rest of the world. And we don't get not as bogged down with some of our, older stuff. And if we do get bogged down, then we can just take that out of the closet. Okay? We can find it in our bodies, and we can begin to embrace all aspects of ourselves, which really reconnects us to the whole. Well, thank you for joining. If you are listening to this recording outside of the live, know that you will receive all the energy behind it. And there's no difference whether you listen to it live now or later. So if you want to listen to it again and redo the exercises, it can be just as powerful. So again, I'm Jennifer Cunnings. I'm with My Heart Reiki. My website is www.myheartreiki.com, REIKI. And I'm sending infinite love and light and blessings to you all. And thank you so much for joining me today. Take care. Bye-bye.